out this one.
I'm not see where I'm. Oh. You may not be able to pick up. What kind of wireless card is in there?
I don't think it's a 5G card. What we probably need to do
I'm
is
on that one.
5G and then plug directly because I have one of those. I'll bring it next time.
I've got a range extender. We can
That's
just do a
probably
direct
exactly what
plug.
we need to do. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Where's that at? I just had it in here, didn't I? Oh, I took it upstairs.
That's okay. We don't need it right now. We're doing a break, so I think we'll be okay. Whatever you did is, I mean, we're back between 2,500 and 3K, so we're good.
Okay.
I'm drunk.
So I was asking our elven companion about the rooms, if she can tell us anything.
Hey, go find your mug. Yeah.
What are you doing? Go find your mother.
What are you doing?
Hey, where's mommy?
Where's Mom?
Oh, go find mommy.
She's got us.
Make sure you close the door on your way out.
Oh.
She did it! Yay!
Get your snack. Where's my snack?
She's okay.
Be awesome.
This is a dope setup. I like this.
I was
So you've got what used to
Three-dimensional.
be like somewhat of a road, maybe, is collecting a lot of the low-lying water
It's getting all
from the
behind
storm
us.
that's coming down. I need everybody to move next to that tree.
In this corner?
This one.
Yeah. That you guys are at. So you, just to give you like a orientation, because I need to give you guys this.
Orientate.
A zombie T-Rex.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
I need to give you
Oh,
guys
is
this.
So actually it needs to be flipped. So looking out in this direction over here would be where the pillar of smoke is coming out.
Okay.
If you look out,
Looking back at me, I see that I never really had it right. What is that? You know what sucks? On my like year in review on Spotify, all the crossfade shit comes up. I'm like, this is terrible. I'll be listening to like trance music, and I'm like, and then that comes on.
You've done this to yourself.
I know I did.
Yeah.
And it's not just the one crossfade song.
Wow.
It's like 4 or 5, and I'm like, what is this?
You are the crossfade of people.
so on the other side
I'll
of
take
the pillar of smoke,
Yeah.
you can see what looks like Mesoamerican pyramids
Behind the smoke?
behind the smoke coming up.
Okay.
Then there's another one down here that looks to be a complex of them. Way, well not way, but decently out along the horizon line. And then as you look due south,
Okay.
you can see what looks like a haze surrounding a mountain, maybe. Like maybe there's a fog cloud that's moved through because you can see a peak of a cloud of
way
a
out.
hill way down there.
How far do I think the wreckage is?
The wreckage you think is probably an hour and a half walk based upon the pace you've been
Still
making.
knock it out.
I'll communicate all that to them, and then I want to just is the buildings behind the wreckage? Is it at a higher altitude? Right, like so. Is there like mountains coming up and
Yes.
there's buildings on the mountain? Okay.
Is there smoke on the water?
There's fire in the sky.
Okay. Oh, can we get him? No, that's not worth it.
No. That's a cheap, easy joke. That's not worth the inspiration.
All right, so
This
Um,
looks good. On this end.
Can our
But then you move it.
elven
Okay.
counterpart
that's
do
a
that?
later one.
That's
Shouldn't
So
he-
yeah, you asked Zendala what's going on.
That's awesome.
And she starts talking about how during the time whenever Ubteo had first captured and betrayed Dindar the Night Serpent, that there were 9 trickster gods that came to prominence within the Isle of Cholt, and they used to have temples built all in several different locations. And within these temples, folks would make pilgrimages to try to get gifts from the trickster gods, and you usually have to outwit or do some kind of feat in order to get the power bestowed upon you. But there were these, regular temples that were maintained by the worshippers, and folks would come along and try to get boons, if you will. And so she kind of takes you through a real quick history, and as she does that, you guys hear a and in the tree that Valkyr has climbed up, you see an arrow stick into it with a very jagged, gnarled head on it, made out of a metal, and colorful bird feathers on the fletching. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh shit! So where did the arrow strike? By me?
No, like
Okay.
down at the base of the trunk.
Come on, initiative checks. Got bad luck with those, man.
I got a niner for anybody. Niner.
You didn't ask yet, Dave.
I know, but I'm not going to grab water.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
All right, 20 to 30.
Niner.
15 to 20.
4 5 no.
10 to 15.
12.
Oh.
Hey!
Keep going.
5 to 10.
6.
Nah.
And 9 for Dave.
Yeah. Yes.
Lest us forget his niner.
Okay. 1 to 5.
2. No, keep going.
0 or below.
I'm kidding. It's a 4. I don't have a negative initiative.
0 or
Negative
below.
7.
Yeah.
Wow, that can happen.
Yeah, if you have
no
a-
bonuses
if you have-
to it, negative dex.
And negative, yeah, if you have a dex penalty.
I think Curl Sage Kitten had a negative dex. Pretty sure.
Coral Siege.
Billions upon billions of failed initiative.
Curl Siege Kid.
Yeah. You would love that character.
That's funny.
So
Should've
you
been.
were 4? 4.
Yeah, I'm sad I didn't get to play Nick Collin,
Is he a caulker? Professional caulker?
but he's basically just a
Does he
rogue.
spend a lot of time caulking?
I just had the little, his icon was like Macaulay Culkin,
Yeah.
Home Alone.
Macaulay, what are you doing? Caulking.
Yep.
Okay.
And my idea was that he's just gonna set traps the whole time.
Oh, right, yeah. And lure people into traps. And then, like, have you had enough or are you hungry for more? And then, like, run away into the next trap. Yeah.
But someone was like 3 hours late to Secret Santa, so I didn't get to show up to this thing.
Oh, wow, we're close. Ambush. Like, Gori! Gori ambush me. Ambush Gori. It's alright. They're not gonna like what happens to them.
What happens next will shock you.
Click here to find out.
I'm all jacked up on this poop deck, so.
Well, jacked up on Mountain Dew, Chip. Try it after school. So Grandpa's warm now, still mopping bridge.
All right. Fully prepared to not forget about traits that I have and do all the damage I can.
Yeah.
Just not straight up just forgetting a D4 of damage and never re-rolling my damage. We should have been downing stuff way faster than before. But it's okay. We made it. Nobody's died. We can hurt stuff.
That you know of.
You're right. Somebody off screen might have just gotten obliterated due to my lack of damage.
It's fair. Combat music, please.
Oh, you got it. It's playing.
I can't hear.
Can we turn it up?
I don't feel like I'm in combat.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him back there in heavy cover.
So you immediately notice as that arrow hits, and followed by 2 or 3 little blow darts, landing in the ground and whizzing past your ears, flying in, that you've walked into an ambush site, immediately regretting the fact that all of you are tied together.
Still.
Well, he's not. Or
No,
He's not.
Valkyr wouldn't be, and
The lady.
Zendala would not be, because they're able to definitely walk. Everybody else is tied together.
That's great.
And you cannot move more than 10
feet. Yeah.
10 feet from that collective blob of people.
Without taking an action to get yourself off. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
get yourself off.
In public.
Yes. Yes. So, with the abysmal initiative roll, we will
Take a round of arrows to the face and then start combat.
Yeah, I need some templates.
You got some shielding
What's going on, bro?
ready.
I'm just
there.
grab some templates. Circular.
What kind of
A
template?
10-foot template.
Second roar.
Yeah, let's get that shield going.
You're gonna
shall we?
need that. Looking back, dang. Just gotta stop that.
Why?
I have no reactions I can take ever, just opportunity.
The goblins that you see, if you think of like General Grievous
Pretty good.
and kind of his bone face, they have these tribal masks made of bones.
Cool.
A lot of them look like dinosaur skulls and stuff like that. There's fangs coming down.
Sweet.
Different pigments have been used to draw, different symbols and the like on it, and they immediately start firing. So the first goblin here, we're going to move right to left. First goblin knocks an arrow and would be shooting at Genji, being the closest.
Which means they're shooting at me.
Oh, you guys are
10
within
feet.
10 feet. Good.
Every time or once per turn?
Always.
Always.
Wow!
The shield of missile attract.
He gave me that shield and made us fight 1,000 goblin archers.
So what is that?
That was very nice.
Quick rules clarification. What does that mean when I
They're all
rage
coming at me.
and they are?
You don't get like a double reduction.
Well, what I'm saying is, does the ancestral guardian effect trigger if they're shooting at me, but the
Let's
arrows
read
go
them.
to him?
Let's
No.
read the words, right? Like
What-
You,
Yes,
you wouldn't
yes,
have
but
because it's the
for-
same.
It's only if they don't target me.
Yeah.
Right. If they're targeting me, but then their arrows are.
It doesn't matter. My shield gives me damage resistance, and you can't double damage resistance.
You can't like they
Oh,
don't
well, it
double
doesn't matter.
stack.
Yeah, double stack.
The only thing that you wouldn't get is a disadvantage attack roll.
Yeah. So
They're
any-
not attacking
They're
you.
not attacking me.
Okay.
Cool.
So that's a 19 on the
Hits.
first one.
Yeah.
So d6 plus 2. 6 damage.
So I take 3.
So an arrow comes ripping through the rain, and you see it kind of curve, and you're
shut
looking
up.
for the wind, and Glaz tries to reach up to punch it with the shield, and kind of misjudges it, and it sails past the shield and glances across her trap and draws a little bit of blood as it continues past. The next goblin fires.
Did I hear blood?
Natty 20.
Oh!
I think you're not gonna like being the bullet sponge for too long.
That's fine.
So
It's
6
Well, when
plus.
we go first, it's a different story too. 'Cause you get some buffs on you. And,
So you'll take 5
Wait,
adjusted piercing damage.
I'm gonna cut words,
That's
Oh.
too late.
but it says damage roll.
It's fine.
Is that a reaction?
It's a reaction.
Whenever
Is it-
I say natty 20, that's a good time for you.
No,
to,
but it says the damage roll. You can do it on attack ability or damage.
So
roll.
whenever I say 6 plus, I roll, and then I give a number of 5 adjusted.
Don't worry. There's more arrows coming.
There's more
Be
arrows
ready.
coming. You'll get it.
What
So
would I
you
say
take
again?
10 unadjusted, 5 adjusted piercing damage
Got it.
as your shield moved up, and you've got these 2 arrows coming at you simultaneously. You take this one in the ribs. Number 3 archer shoots. That is a 19-23 to hit. That hits.
They have a very good aim.
And that is 4 plus 2 is 6, so you take another 3 piercing damage. And the last archer is a 9. So that one sails wide and hits the tree. So now we do the ground-based guys. And these folks will move.
Yes. Yes.
Bring it.
Closer.
So good. I do love the 4 sons of Faerun as they reflect down into the jungle.
Sun never sets.
Yes, Faerun. Don't worry, lads. 'Twas but a flesh wound. We've got it.
Is that road difficult terrain?
It's not a road, it's like
creek?
water. It's a
Okay.
low-lying area that's carrying a decent amount of water through it.
Got it. But it is considered difficult terrain.
Yes.
Otherwise, the standard terrain elsewhere is not.
Green is
As
fine,
much
brown
as you
is-
can tell.
Yeah.
The guy that's in contact with Bronson
He's gonna die.
takes a spear, stabs it forward, and well, not a spear because I don't want them being able to attack 10
Club.
feet. So he takes a club and swings. Comes down with a 17
Yes.
and hits. That is 4 points of bludgeoning damage against you. The 2 cattywampus from Jotun. First one attacks. That is a 21.
Okay.
And that is 6 points of piercing damage as the scimitar. So the scimitar would be slashing, so slashing damage as he comes and cuts you on the hip. The guy next to him, seeing you cringe in pain, comes and hits. And that is 8 points of bludgeoning damage as a club. You're kind of recoiling, and then you take one right here in the trap, and you feel it kind of bite into you. Then the third will take a swing at Zendala. That hits. She's going to cast Shield as a reaction. So he goes to skewer her, and she, with just the flip of her wrist, a impenetrable barrier shoots up, and he bounces off of it.
Oh wait, I had
and
something.
clings.
Does that persist?
No.
So it's instant only?
Yeah. All right. So now it is Jotun Aegis. The gift.
The gift.
You are in the middle of a very chaotic situation. You're cursing yourself because you have a length of rope wrapped around your waist, and you're feeling it tug. And multiple times as folks are kind of moving in different directions, and you guys are all noticing that you're tied. What would you like to do?
I'd like to cast Cause Fear at level 3.
Whoa! Whoa!
This fella. So at level 3, I get 2 additional targets within 30 feet. So I think it'll hit all 3 of these guys. They gotta make a wisdom saving throw of 14. Or be
They're failing. They don't have any wisdom.
frightened.
Is
So I
it
wanna
not
get
a spell? Cause fear? Is
Cause
that a
fear.
feature?
That's a wizard spell.
I don't see cause fear in the list.
Yep. It's a 60-foot range. I don't count that.
Oh, that's what that is.
should be.
Sure.
Oh, could this one? Did that come out of like Xanathar's guide or something?
It might have.
That may not have the full spell.
It's a level
Xanathar's
1.
Guide to Everything.
It's necromancy, right?
Is that where it is?
Yep.
That's
60 foot
a-
range, one
That's
action.
a standard old school spell.
Yeah.
That's,
All right. So, are we within 60 feet?
he just counted it off.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55.
Oh no!
He was going to catch.
No, it's
5,
got 30
10,
feet, so if he hits a point on the ground.
No, you
You
gotta
have to
target.
target a creature.
Yeah.
60.
Oh, it's too far.
What about this guy?
In that case, I'll cast it on this guy. So
Okay.
encompasses the
Those
two.
three right there. Okay.
Wisdom saving throw of 14.
14.
Hopefully these guys have.
They have a -1
Yeah.
modifier on wisdom. Oh, give me some hot face.
Yeah, get him the hot face.
So they all shoot each other.
The target, the target that you focus on,
Draw a card. Draw a card.
he's looking up at you. Well, no, because it was a reaction, not a hit or a fail.
Damn it.
Oh yeah, correct.
Yeah, 'cause that's critical hits.
So anyway, as he has his club in his hand and is looking up,
What is that?
Lee Howard's goo.
Is that a meal in a glass?
It's something in a glass.
It's not Taco Bell, I'll tell you that.
It was.
No.
From a month ago.
That's the best ever.
That's terrifying.
Oh, we're screen capping that. I got
Alright,
the new Facebook
Timestamp.
picture.
Can we get a timestamp for later revisits?
Oh, they're already they've been tracked. If you're following the notes, there are 4 timestamps so far.
That's good. Yeah.
so Jotun, after he takes both of these shots, the one with the club that bit into your trap, he's looking at you snarling, "Ah!" And then you look down at him, and your face becomes that of death itself. Your eyes disappear from view. Snakes start crawling in and out of your now skeletal face.
Oh.
And the goblin is like, oh my. Ah! And he starts freaking out. The other two. Yes!
Perfect.
One passes, and the other one fails.
So one passed, 2 are scared, right?
And so,
One is mega scared.
yeah, the first one, on that natty 1, he drops his clubs and his shield, and is just wide-eyed staring at you, and you see a very slight twist in the torso, which makes you think he's about to sprint off.
Okay.
Any bonus actions?
No.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Okay. Then we go to Volker.
Time for
Volker,
you
you
to-
are
Oh, hello.
60 feet in
I
the
am,
air,
Yes.
at the tippity top of the tree, looking out and about. You hear a lot of noise and like people groaning, and Bronson getting buzzed on that hot face. Bronson cursing, fucking rope, and mumbling, and then you're hearing growling down below. You can't see at the base of the tree
Okay.
because of all the foliage.
Yes.
They would have full cover down below you, but you can see the 4 archers that have poked their heads up over the wall halves.
Get him.
Okay.
What are your actions?
Time for you four to take a nap. And I'll fire sleep.
What's
right
the
here.
range on sleep?
90 feet.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's in range.
That's in range. I counted.
Well, no, because you also have to come down.
No, but diagonally it's
Yeah.
not going to be that much further.
Pythagorean's theorem.
How about
So
this?
60 feet up,
How about this?
and then 80 feet.
I'm gonna
this
walk
way.
to right here,
So count from the base of the tree to.
and I'm gonna.
Yeah,
that's
you're
where
gonna
I'll
make your
cast
movement?
it. Yeah. So I'll move first. I'll move halfway down the tree,
Okay.
and then I'll
80?
shoot it over.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
30,
that'll make it.
Can we get a rubber
60,
band?
240.
And this is at
Stick
level
him to the
3.
side of the tree? No,
I'm
I'm
sorry,
kidding.
60
Don't
plus-
actually do that.
This is at level
But it would be
3.
funny
90.
to have him on the side of the tree. Don't do it. You're delicate minis.
Yeah, he should be able
Yeah,
to know.
it's 84 feet at the angle that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys. That's awesome.
Surprising, not virgins.
we
It's true.
think.
We think.
Prove
Do
it.
you have
The
TD?
nerds are sexy.
Yeah.
And,
Prove it. Would you like to see the song again?
No, I want to see the long form birth certificate.
Actually, I think that picture
of us getting paid.
the long form birth certificate. I got like 2 or 3 jokes there. I'm not gonna tell
Oh, that's real good.
Ooh.
So you were at 30 feet currently.
Oh, I see. Okay.
6 blood.
So many toys. Is it still good then? From the top? Can
Yeah, you're 30 feet
Yeah,
down.
if you were at 60 feet, you would be out of range.
Yeah.
I? Okay.
Because you're at 84 feet right now.
Sleep them. Do it.
Yeah.
Roll your dice.
This is 98.
Wow.
What level are you casting?
3.
Wow. You guys are just coming out of the gates.
Well,
Fearing and sleeping
this
the
is
shit
the
out of
third
goblins.
time he's cast sleep and it might actually work.
Yeah. Well, it's not
Well,
on zombies. this
He
time.
did save us in the Sunless Citadel.
It was really good.
That did.
Yeah.
That was we.
But every other time.
That turned a hard encounter into a fucking
Yeah,
slaughter.
you guys
Effortless
moved through
encounter?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Effervescent encounter.
No,
Effortless.
Oh, thanks, an effervescent. I was like,
I wish I
That's
said
quite bubbly.
a bubbly, farty.
Yeah.
38.
38.
At this point, I really wish I had said effervescent.
You would have been really good.
Yeah, it would have been a lot funnier than
Do any of them go to sleep?
The LaCroix of encounters.
Yeah.
Drop. Yeah, sweet.
It seems you were a bit tired. Time to take a nap.
I was hoping you would come up with something along the lines of, "This is a regular nap. Your dirt nap's soon to follow."
Ooh.
That's
That would have got a reroll.
That's like a thing he would say though.
Yeah.
I'm light on my toes.
Yes.
And
Yes,
deep.
you are.
You got none.
And Z plus your toes.
All right. So any other movement? You maxed your movement. Any bonus actions?
No movement, no. I'll give Bronson a bardic.
Is that a D4 to anything?
6.
D6 to anything? Oh man.
Well, not anything.
Not anything.
Attack
Not
rolls.
damage or
close.
anything, but
Close.
ability checks.
Yeah.
All right. Bronson.
Oh yeah. So this goblin clubs me on the back, right? You hear thunk, and he like slowly turns around and looks at him and gets nose to nose with him, and then pulls the rope apart and snaps it. So the part that's around. is
Give me a
what
strength
he's
check at
tear off.
advantage.
What's strength check on a rope? Come on.
Yeah, it's a rope.
Really high
Think
tensile
something that
strength.
normally holds all of your weight as you're climbing the side of the castle.
It's hempen.
All right, that's fair.
High tensile strength.
Very, very progressive.
You could untie it.
Very progressive. Very new age hemp.
21.
Nice.
So you go to like pull it apart, and you just pull on one side of this very dainty little bow that you tied around your waist, and it completely unravels down to your waist.
With a 21, I don't blast the rope apart. Okay, fair enough. We want your rope to be
The
intact,
tensile
yeah.
strength. I'm trying to say.
That's fine.
Got it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna go ahead and use my action search. So that's my action for the
Surge.
Right.
No. That
No.
was just for aesthetics.
So we can say that that takes my movement, perhaps.
No.
All right.
That
Well,
was
yeah.
just
Fuck
you
these
to
goblins
pull
up.
it.
All right.
Bash some brains.
All right. So we're gonna take. Oh. So then we'll go.
Actually, yeah, we have to. I'm sorry.
It's manipulated.
It's got to
Yeah.
manipulate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's okay. Action surge used. One action to pop the rope off, and then he's gonna circle right into the midst of all these little goblins and just start wailing.
Yes!
And all-
Yes!
So
Yes!
we're gonna go one on the one that hit me because he's got to be. Oh no, wait. This is better. I'm gonna take a swing at the two goblins that didn't hit me. So the one that hits me gets hunk, and look at him and take the rope off, and then look at the others. Brain one, brain the other, and then look back at the rope.
Okay.
So
Which one's which?
One and
Yellow and
two. This guy hit me,
yeah.
so he's gonna wait. He's dead.
Okay.
This is
You don't have to
advertising.
roll your d6
You're next.
in the group. You can roll it after your first roll.
Yeah, you can choose when you use your d6.
Okay, so Splinter is going on number one, the one over there. And that's going to be 14 and 16.
The 16 hits.
Okay. So I can add. No, yeah, it's too late, right? Before I know the result.
Yeah.
The bardic inspiration you have to use.
Oh, wait, I lied.
You can use it
Shadowfell
after.
gets plus 8. So it's 18 and 15 to hit.
Both of those hit.
Alright, there we go.
So the bardic inspiration you can use after you roll, but before you know the result
Yeah.
of the roll, right?
Yeah, so you roll a 12 and you're on the edge.
Jeebus.
That's ugly. Hang on. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 on number one. And then 7, 8, 13 on the other one.
Yeah. So you grape both of them.
Splat, splat! Cool.
So go ahead and drop them.
And then we're going to turn to look at this little one and go, I like you.
Go, go, goblin grapers.
Wow.
Cool. That's his turn. That's it.
All right. Genji.
I'll do an incidental.
Oh, please.
4-2. Might want to keep up there, Bronson.
And Zendala looks up.
How far can I move from the spot that I'm in right now?
Did she notice the bulge of my tight
Because
leather
Bronson
pants?
just untied himself.
He untied himself, but you're still tied in series to the rest.
Okay.
So you would have to do a strength check versus everybody else, or hold your action, or use your action to untie yourself if you want to move from that.
So, but I could drag him with me.
You could attempt to.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not
Oh my god.
You
How-
gotta-
so I
so
can-
it's an athletics check to be able to pull them with
How
you.
far can I move before I have to do that?
10.
You can get maximum 2 squares away
Yeah.
from Hugh.
It's 10 feet
Which
slack
one's-
between all.
No,
He's
the
right
little
behind
short
me, yeah.
guy? Okay. 10 feet away from Hugh. And he's not big, so I can do a strength check to try to... And if I rage, I get advantage on those.
Yeah. Well, it's an athletics check, so yeah, you would have advantage on that.
Oh, sweet. Okay, yeah. So, A, rage. And then I'm going to attempt to move
You do nothing.
here.
I've been working.
Banzai Goblin! Time to make a Goblin sashimi!
Oh.
Alright.
Alright, so make your strength check.
I like that, yeah.
There you go.
This is athletics. correct?
Athletics, yeah, that's what it's sorry.
90-20.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Sorry, Hugh!
So Hugh and Glaz
He's just waggling along.
make a dexterity saving throw.
We're never doing this again, Mike.
Well, no, we should. It's just
You
we
are
forgot
prone.
to- We got some precedents.
And Hugh is prone. And move Hugh on his face diagonal in between the two of you.
Yeah.
You got dragged through a bunch of glasses of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, dream come true for him.
And the tide is.
Oh, that's funny.
That's weird.
Alright. And then I will attack just the one that's directly in front of me.
Yeah, so
Kind of
you
one.
see this flash of kind of crimson go by, and you hear "Wah!" followed by a as two individuals feel their waistlines get yanked, and they're pulled down to the ground, and this frothing, cursing, angry individual with this beautifully crafted blade that is shining, water driplets slowly coming off of it, comes down with a swing. Make your attack, please.
Alright. I see you have met my friend, the ghost face killer. 15 and
15 hits.
Jeez, 36 chambers.
13 damage on the one.
Yeah, murdered. Continue your attack. Should you
So
choose.
rage
No,
is
your
a
bonus
bonus
action.
action.
Yeah.
This
that
one
was-
right here?
Yeah. Dead.
He just comes off.
Okay.
All right. Any other movement?
I need you to move Got Rut over to me. Thank you.
I really like that bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So Chambord bottle.
It's so great.
Very good. All right. Glass. Oh, I didn't roll for Hugh yet. Sorry. Hot face, please.
Yeah. Oh man.
I think. Oh yeah, still over here.
Well, here's the good thing: we don't have to retcon anything.
So I'm gonna stand and use half my movement to stand.
Okay.
And then move 2 squares, so 5, 10. I'm gonna step here and take my warhammer and smash it down on the goblin in front of me. That's definitely
Here's my tagline for why you should watch our stream.
11.
11 misses.
No,
21.
21. I'm sorry.
21 hits.
16 plus 5. I
It's
minus
subtract.
5. I minus
understand.
instead of added, so I can do that. And then I'm going to do my damage. I do 6 points of damage.
All right. So your hammer comes down, and you think that you've broken the clavicle on the goblin, and he and starts laboring breathing, but is still standing.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to take my hand and point it out to the side towards these goblins over here and say, "Oh, it's a good idea," and cast spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Ooh. Is it a spiritual warhammer
Yeah.
or a spiritual bardage?
It's this.
Yeah.
What about a spiritual?
That's the best mini that we have, I think. That's just completely ridiculous.
Thank you.
A spiritual catch pole?
So out of the ground, it shoots out, and you see this bluish, pure hand come up out of the ground as a hammer slowly coalesces itself. What are you going to do with it?
It's going to swing at that goblin
It's passed out, yeah.
laying on the ground and do its damage.
At advantage.
Avantage.
Yeah.
Because he's proner.
And
And it's an automatic crit because he's unconscious.
20.
Oh.
Is that true? Oh, wow. Oh, dude. Wow.
So it does
Is that a thing?
8 plus 5, 13 points of damage.
With that free bonus action.
Yeah, he's dead.
Cool.
And so you see this hammer rise up and then close in, and all you hear is splatter, like a watermelon that's been thrown off of a high-rise hitting the ground. And looking over, you just see this like bloom of goo
SpaghettiOs.
come up in the air.
SpaghettiOs.
Spaghetti.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Scream.
All right. Any other?
Oh, sorry, it's
That's-
supposed to be green.
That's
There
it
you
for
go.
me.
Okay. Then we go back up
We got a
to
new
the
roller for the end.
goblins. So the one looking over at Bronson
Oh, yeah.
swings
I like
at
it.
him with the 2 misses. And then the one who is next to Jotun goes to get another shot in with his scimitar.
Isn't he
And-
frightened?
No, this
No,
one's-
you already killed one of the frightened ones. And so he slashes into your back, and that is 5 points of slashing damage to you.
What was the hit?
19.
Sorry, was it 5?
Yes, 5 points of slashing damage to you. Then his peer, seeing your visage, and whenever he slashes into you, the blood that starts to spray out to him looks as if like you're this magma monster, and there is lava spraying out towards him, and he's running like he's burning and starts sprinting this way.
Talk of opportunity.
You guys get those opportunity attacks. Jotun, we'll start with you. And this has to be a melee attack.
Yep. 6 is 15.
15 hits.
Smash that poo. Smash that poo.
6 damage.
6 damage. And so again, you guys see this massive crudgel, or how would you describe your weapon? It's part
It's a
staff,
quarterstaff.
part
Like
bludgeoning device. Yeah.
It's
Um,
like a,
Lights crystal on the top.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So it's like the Ogier rod from Wheel of Time, where you would
Yes.
like use a tree to make a staff, but the end is gnarly.
Yeah.
So he swings this around, and as he's coming through, like the spin overhead strikes Glaz, Zendala, and actually they didn't go, Zendala and Hugh. So before we do that, Zendala is going to chill touch. So move her adjacent to the one that attacked that isn't frightened.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to chill touch and damage on that.
It's a spell effect.
Yeah, so do not take any damage because he's outright dead.
Oh yeah.
And then Hugh, go ahead and stand him up. And he is going to move through Genji's square. Yes. To right there, and he will make an attack. I apologize for not but he misses. So now going through this, he's turning to run, finds himself, freaking out while he's right there. So you don't take damage. Your attack still takes place, and you guys are amazed at the way that this thing is weaving around and not hitting everybody around. 1 second, sweetie. And it comes down and grapes this dude and fucking kills him.
Yes.
You hear the noises?
A lot of noise.
What's this? What is it?
Those noises are the combat that's happening. People
he's
are
dead?
dancing with each other.
6 damage. You go.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, that one had already been hit like Laz.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. All right. So now, the rest of your turn. Anything else you want to do? No, because that was goblins. Okay.
Yeah.
So then these are all unconscious. So then we move to your actual turn.
Okay.
Turn.
Let's see. I have 16. I have 30 speed. Okay. So.
Bye.
30. And I just like to
Are
ready.
you still tied up?
The dock
Oh,
returns.
yeah,
Number 54.
Yep.
Dragons with you, man.
So I'll say let's move towards the sleeping ones.
Okay.
And then I guess I'll ready an action to move with the rest of the group as we.
So you can ready actions. You can't change movement.
You can set your reaction to be a movement.
Can you?
Pretty sure.
I
I'm
don't
not sure.
want
Look it up.
to drag
Yeah, look it up real
anyone
quick.
or get dragged.
You can only
so-
ready an action. You can't. Movement is not something you can ready.
But is there any way that I could say I want to move with the group so we don't drag
Collectively-
anyone through the mud?
The problem is we don't move at the same time, right? And if you can't ready a movement as a reaction, I think you're better off just
Cannot ready
untying
movement.
yourself.
Yeah.
Actions in combat. Ready.
Hey, go check mommy's room and see if she's in there with JD. Okay. Yeah. Go in there. All right. Go check mommy's room.
Well, I guess I'll use my action to throw the rope off of me if I can, or get out of it.
No, yeah, you can choose to move up to your speed in reaction to the thing that you're responding to.
But it
Okay.
has to be in. Then you choose the action. But move is not an action you can take in combat.
Right.
That's the thing. Dash is an action you can take, but so you could ready the dash.
Here's what
action.
we'll do, just to get it moved forward.
Well, when you're ready, you can
you
ready
guys,
action or move.
you guys can move as a cohesive unit.
Okay.
We'll
But
say.
I just have to wait till the rest of the group.
Yeah, go through the initiative, but since there's no enemies that are intermingled, this is like your party's movement. You guys can all move as a block. We'll just have to designate actions in order based upon initiative.
Okay.
And then we can take a look at it more in depth later.
Well, yeah.
So my intent
And that's how
is
you
to
fucking
move
DM.
this way and ready frostbite if any one of these guys comes up. So if they become a lot active, then I'll cast frostbite. But
Okay.
otherwise,
Good to go.
because I mean I can hit them if I move 10 feet.
Which you guys would be able to do. So go ahead and get the movement you guys are wanting to do. The four of you, Hugh included, and he'll just kind of follow along with where you guys go. You have to move in that marching order, though, to wherever Genji goes, then Glaz, then Hugh, or actually Hugh, then Glaz, then Jotun.
So I'll say I can make it to here.
Yeah, 'cause you're the tail end
And
of the
ready
rope.
frostbite, so they're within range. So if any one of these guys pops up, then I'll cast frostbite on them. But otherwise, I'm stuck where I'm at.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Valkyrie.
I'll climb halfway down the tree with my shoes.
So you're at 30.
Oh, I am
feet.
already there?
Yeah, you
Okay.
get to You're already halfway,
I
so
got
you
you, I
can
came
get down
down.
to the base.
Alright, so I'm
if you
fine. No, I'll stay
No,
at 30. Yeah, I didn't know I was already there. And then far guy's gonna get he's behind the wall. I can't even see him, can I? They're all sleeped behind the wall.
Yeah, they would be in full cover.
Okay, I can see the guy in front of Bronson.
Don't take my dinner.
Yeah, you can
Don't
absolutely
take
see
my
that.
fucking dinner. Oh, you are such a nerd. Fucking assist. Fucking hit markers.
Well, good news is he probably won't kill it.
That's great.
I like
Oh,
that.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
That's one.
But also, if I may,
Oh, nice.
this is what it looks like.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because he's got his feet on the side.
12 damage to that guy.
He is dead.
Oh, what are you gonna do there?
As my incidental, I'm gonna take my dagger out and mark it on the tree behind me. Bronson boy, one more.
Valkyrie kills Steel.
Yo, can you say
And
Did you move him one this way?
this is
No, I
what's
knocked
left.
him over accidentally. Was he
oh,
here?
okay.
Sorry.
So when he does that, the goblin explodes into like green goo
Green shit
everywhere. It's
everywhere.
all over him. Bronson's super pissed about it. It's like covered in like the target he was supposed to take off.
There you go.
Yeah, that's great.
Any other bonus actions or movement?
No,
Okay. Then we move on to Bronson.
you can take this one
Don't make promises.
There's nothing but those guys left, as far as hostiles I'm aware of, right?
You can make a perception check to look around.
I will do that. 15.
There are more.
Looking for more hostiles.
Raise the roof.
Goboru Ninja.
That was the right call.
Goboru Shinobi.
So you can see lumbering up behind. Coming up to nail Zendala.
Sorry, guys, we're not going that way. We're
lumbering
going that
looking ogre that looks like he uprooted a tree and he is walking to go and bean her in the back of the head.
No, he's not.
Wow, I'm glad I saw it. That angle,
What
I
is
see
that?
him like through the trees back there.
It's a
So,
Troll.
Ogre.
Ogre.
so I'm gonna yell out, "Milady behind you!" and sprint over to her.
Are you
And then
dashing?
I start looking behind myself for 5.
yeah. Fair.
Do you consider yourself a lady?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Let's go barbecue. Is those meat sticks over?
Probably the meat sticks.
Did you make it to the base here, or did you make it to the next square?
Between her and him.
Okay.
Even though she probably could protect me better than I can protect her, that's fine.
In character though.
No, that's good.
That's it.
You know, ogre before? I don't think we had.
I don't know if we know what it is, or does he know what it is? Because he's the one that called it out.
All I know is it's a big bad hostile carrying a fucking tree. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Well,
It's about time I
T-Rex.
got an appropriate challenge for my frothy, righteous anger.
All right.
The frothiest.
Beer wishes is what this is.
No, it's
The rabies of anger.
I'm the,
All right.
dare I say, the crossfade of anger.
Oh, well played. Well played.
Number-
Topical
sometimes
as
it's
much as the multiplayer copy.
That's the actual hero.
I'm a multifaceted human being.
If I put an at symbol, all those people being accessible to me to communicate to.
All right.
All right. So now that our tutorial is done, so you guys see Bronson, and at first you think he's running away, and so you're immediately looking around like you would be looking for a magic user. Somebody just feared him because he's sprinting off away from what you perceive as the danger. Valkyr, you think at first, and you almost get that little sphincter tightening, that he's running to chop the tree down because you stole his kill. And so you're like, oh shit! And then
Well, I'm standing on this thing.
Zendala sees the panic
That
in
would've
your
been a better
eye,
call.
and
It's so funny.
turns around and looks and sees this large, just brutish brown mass running with this huge tree limb in his spiked tree limb in his hands, and you position yourself there, ready to take whatever he's going to bring. Checks out. Yep.
Yeah.
That might be better.
All right, so you guys, Genji.
Finally, a worthy challenger!
So here's the problem. You guys agreed collectively as a group, you were all moving in this direction towards the Groborins.
Yeah. Oh well. He's raging. I hope you fools don't mind being dragged.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I like drag.
All right, make another
Where'd my other D3 go?
Let's move the camera over here a little bit. Nothing? Alright, fuck you.
11.
That's why I was wanting you to bring those trees.
11.
Because they're better painted.
11?
But
Yeah.
those are for something. Alright, you guys need to do strength saving throws to not get pulled prone. And higher than what he rolled.
It's 3, so it's 9.
So you're prone.
Do I get dragged this
Yes.
way?
I'm prone. You're prone as well. So you guys, how much movement? Because it would be difficult terrain because you're pulling people.
I can move up to 40.
40?
I moved 5 squares.
So move one back.
Okay.
Well, no, because the first one wouldn't be because you're still within range.
Yeah, I've got slack at that point.
So yeah,
Okay.
that is allowed.
Okay.
And then move Hugh. Keep
He goes
going up
colliding into Zandala.
to her left. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
All right. Attacks.
Roll your attack.
It's a 22 and a 9.
The 22 hits.
Cool. 14 damage. And also, Ancestral Guardian effect is now active on that.
Okay.
Is that a?
Where's That's the any attack against
Where's
anybody
my
but me
pen?
is at disadvantage, and that target also has damage reduction.
Okay. Then we do glass.
So I'm gonna stand up.
Nice.
Again. And then move. Whoops. 5,
Difficult terrain because you're dragging Jotun behind you.
10. Okay.
And I need an athletics check.
That's as far as I can go. So half my movement would be.
Round it up, right? 15.
Yeah, 15 to stand up. So I'd have 10 because I could go 10. And half again would be this. Yeah, I could go 5. So I'm actually don't actually pull him because he's still 10 behind me. Or did I pull him 5?
Pulling 5.
Okay.
There you
Okay. Then with my action, I'm going to hold forth my warhammer and point it at the ogre, and cast Sacred Flame.
go. Okay.
Dex 14.
Oh, his negative drops him. So no.
All right, and so I do 2d8 damage.
3 damage.
Yeah.
Exactly 3 damage. So I do 3 damage there.
You did 3 damage to the ogre?
Why are you burning me?
And then with my bonus action, I'm going to move my weapon here,
Okay.
and then
Since it auto crits, is it possible to not kill the guy?
I hit for. I've seen one of them die on 12. I hit for 13 last time and it died.
Okay.
So yeah, if I roll like that again,
Well, but you're doing a baseline of 8 damage.
right? So I've got to do at least 5.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So 8. 1 second. Sorry.
You have a +4 bonus there.
So 13 again. Yeah.
SpaghettiOs.
That didn't work out.
That was less than argument.
Where was it?
It's over by the rest
Four
of
dexterity checks.
Oh, there's no, it's not going anywhere. Like, there's no way.
And then as my bonus, my movement, and then as my incidental, I'll say, don't worry about the archers. I'll take care of them with my secret weapon. And then that's it.
I think a little bit harder.
Okay. Let's see. Then Hugh.
Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah, he can't really go
next to me.
anywhere.
You can't get around? Oh, because of the 10-foot rope thing. Let him take his action and take the rope off.
Couldn't he go?
Yeah, he'll untie.
Okay, he unties.
Finally, after getting dragged around.
And then he'll move up next to Genji.
Getting right up in the mix.
Yeah, he doesn't fuck around. Then Zendala.
Level 5 fireball. Kills her.
It's not a bad idea.
Ooh, can she levitate him into the sky and drop him? That's good. It's one of my favorite things to do in Divinity.
Yeah.
Take somebody, place them up high, and
Yeah.
let them drop. Swag.
Or throw them like way the far away to get
Yeah.
out of the battle.
I like putting them
Bye.
like 30 feet in the air above a fire that's already going.
Well, that's
Drive
pretty
into
good.
a fire. It's so fun.
I didn't know you could put them in the air.
Uh-huh.
So she doesn't have like telekinesis to forcibly move. She can make somebody able
Fly,
to fly.
right.
But
So
then,
she can make me fly,
it's
I can grapple
concentration
them, and I'm like,
spell,
oh.
Yeah. Yeah, grab.
so she can end the
Raise up.
spell whenever.
Yeah, but he would have to.
Know that he can fly, and then choose to fly,
Yes.
and then choose to fly to some disadvantageous altitude.
Such as 60 feet in the air.
Yeah. At which point she would then cancel the spell. It's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, but like I was saying, she could just make me fly. I can grapple, lift them up, let go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Can't cast that because that humanoid.
The ogre's probably
Disadvantage. Misadvantage.
Okay. So she's going to attempt to polymorph him
Oh!
Oh snap!
into a sheep because that's the only thing you can polymorph something into.
Not true. You can get a tome that lets you make it into a pig or a chicken.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. That is it.
Wow.
Now we need the goat boy skit from this.
Man, that scene gave me nightmares when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's messed up. The willow pig scene. Shit.
Oh
It's fucked up.
Willow, what a great movie.
One I watched with my kids in the last.
Fully stands the test of time.
Yeah.
So good.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Fantastic.
The lightning bolt effects need some work in the
Oh, wisdom.
tower fight. But
Sure.
You're right. That was the part that stood out.
But it's Wicket gets his screen time. So
So you see this ogre rearing back to hit, and then the club falls out of his. Well, I guess it wouldn't because all of it, everything you're carrying also polymorphs. So the arm, as it's starting to swing, you see this huge long tree branch with barbs coming off of it turn into a hoofed foot. And then the other one, he's reaching to punch, and he's looking at that one become a hoofed foot, and then he starts collapsing, and then there's a sheep there directly to your front, as opposed to an individual. And Zendala looks over and says, Bronson, have you ever tried my mutton chops?
Oh, hey!
And Bronson goes, "Oh, I would be delighted."
Paint job, so I wanted to give it a little bit more showcase.
It's real good.
No, not that one, the
the
diseased rat.
Yeah, it's good. I know.
And if we were in the Sunless Citadel,
I want to see it too.
pretty good.
alright,
So
so
awesome.
Oh, it's got gross green bulbous
Suspect.
Yeah. That's disgusting. You are a sick, sick man.
Pretty gross. Love it.
Yeah.
alright, so he's now in that state. All the conscious goblins have gone. So we're through top of round 3.
Seriously?
Jotun.
Only got once.
No, you got
That's
twice.
twice. You did your attacks,
so
so
Oh, and
then
then I got to run. That's why. Because I didn't get to hit stuff.
I'm gonna cast Frostbite on the polymorphed character.
Okay.
So you gotta make the con save 14.
does he take on the con of the creature that
he does. Oh, hot face.
Whoa!
Player Slayer or DM Slayer dice? You pick.
Player Slayer.
Take 6 damage.
Player Slayer.
Oh no. Player.
So the 6 damage is enough to lower a sheep down to 0. So he reverts back.
Oh, that's okay.
I see.
Is your ancestral thing still in effect?
Yeah, absolutely.
I see. That would have happened anyway.
But he does have disadvantage on the next weapon attack. That's still.
Okay.
Double
Even if it's at
disadvantage.
Genji, which is good.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Any other movement?
I would recommend moving closer just in case.
Well,
Because you might get dragged in.
yeah, only one closer at least.
Okay.
Because then anyone attached to me can still get within melee range, I think. Yeah. That's it for me?
Okay, so the ogre goes, and he will make 2 attacks on Genji.
Oh, yes! Bring it!
That is a natty 20 and a 16 plus
Wait a
6 is
second.
22.
Are any of those at disadvantage?
No.
Okay.
You roll
So at least one of them would
Yes.
have to be at
So you have a
disadvantage.
critical hit card?
Oh yeah, good call.
Also,
What?
he's at
What
disadvantage.
did you just do?
He's at disadvantage.
Hey,
Make
did
that
we-
swing.
We
Would
want to
you,
use
do
the
you have any
cards.
homework you would like to give us before we go home?
Yeah, be more like Billy.
So one of those rolls would have to be at a disadvantage. It would be the first roll that would be at a disadvantage.
For my crossbow.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So then a 22 for the first hit, so
Okay.
no crit.
Keep them up.
Yeah, you gotta roll again.
Keep him around. Why?
I hate all of us.
Alright, so that is...
You feel the feeling is mutual.
Four is a 13, so take 6 bludgeoning damage. So then the next one,
Regular attack.
Ruggler, is a miss.
Nice.
So then we go to Valkyr.
Okay, I'm gonna rotate around so I can see him. I'm just gonna walk over to this side,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna look down without using an action. What kind of weapon does he have?
Just like this large tree branch with barbs coming out of it.
It's like all natural wood.
You don't really know if it's been planed or not. It could have come from a, like a rampart or a wall. Maybe he ripped a log out. Maybe it was just, as he's been handling it, it smoothed out a little bit. You're not sure, especially
then
at this distance.
His body, what's he wearing?
He's just got a collection of pelts on and various and sundry pots that he's tied to himself
Yeah.
to kind of act as makeshift armor. But
How well trimmed are his nails? Are his nails pretty trimmed?
it's hard to see at your distance because Genji is blue falconing your team in front.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I'm ranging.
I'm
I
gonna.
did a presentation on a blue falcon once at work because this one architect wanted to go one way, which I thought was a blue falcon, and so I titled the presentation Blue Falcon. They didn't get it, but I thought it was hilarious.
What's the problem?
But were you not blue falconing his creativity?
Yes, it was a double inception Blue Falcon.
What is this from?
Buddy fucker, essentially.
Yeah, that's what blue flag.
Oh.
Buddy is only half.
Well there, Mr. Giant Man. My name is Valka, and you should use those pots for cooking, so let's heat them up.
Oh!
It takes.
Guys, Jake made a joke with wordplay and it landed.
Sear
A
that.
whopping 6 damage. He needs to do he must succeed on a con saving throw.
Oh, he's gonna pass that with flying colors.
26.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he passes that. Okay. Or drop it. So he passed it, so he's still good. But also while this spell is going on for a minute, I use a bonus action on each subsequent turn to cause the damage again.
And
Even if you failed it?
You smell burnt
Yeah,
hair.
the con is for him. The con check's for him to forcibly take it off. Like, oh fuck, that's hot.
But he takes the damage regardless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you smell burnt hair. And it's
Nice.
Bring the gray
Yeah.
That's
It
nice.
smells like Sex Panther.
Smells like Bigfoot's dick.
Bruno-san.
Oh yeah. Can I get around there?
Yeah.
Hey, get me over here.
Go through me.
Here.
Go through you.
Just get in his face, hit him in the face a bunch. Fuck him up. Purple shatter. 16 and 15.
Both of those hit.
All right. And this and this.
You still have your D6
I got it.
for damage.
You do it on damage? No.
You can do
No,
that.
no,
on
no,
damage.
no.
No?
Inspiration? No.
Oh, okay.
Just
That
skill
would
checks
be
in this
grossly overpowered.
guy. Oh yeah. Are you doing this one?
Please do.
Oh, barely an improvement.
Womp womp.
So, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Jesus Christ. 20 damage. And then 4, 5, 6, 7. 27 damage.
Okay.
We have multiple dice.
Yeah, it's great.
That's it for me.
So these two flails come swinging in over Hugh's head, and you stick it in, and it's almost like you hit into corkboard.
Oh.
The way that it just kind of easily goes in, but it's kind of hard to tug out. And you seem kind of like as you're like yanking on it, and you pretty much skin his pectoral to where you have just the skin hanging off of your flail, dripping, the nipple prominently displayed.
Ogres are mammals? I didn't know that.
Based
Guess we
upon
found
this
out,
picture.
Cool.
And Bronson's inspecting what's on the chunk of peck on his flail, and takes a bite out of it and spits it back in his face, and goes, breastfeeding.
Oh God!
Bronson's a sick man.
Wow.
Don't even need a pump.
Wow, you got your inspiration back. Yeah, let's waste it on something immediate.
Whoa!
Dang!
The
Turn
Tim
the
knife
heat
cuts
up.
deep.
Ah.
Tim knife cuts deep. Glass.
He's right. We should spend it. It's fine.
Oh no, as I was. Genji.
Alright, well,
Tim
Assuming
doesn't
you're
like
complete with your
story.
turn.
yeah.
Yep. And this guy bleeds purple.
I'm going to attack the ogre.
Let's do it.
Surprisingly enough. So that is a 23 and an 18.
Both of those hit. He is a massive individual.
He doesn't look that big compared to
Not so big.
You seem bigger.
I'm bigger.
It's 13 plus 16, so 29 total damage across 2 attacks.
Okay.
You
So
beat me.
you see
Barely.
shing, 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 and he's carving deeper into this pectoral, and it looks kind of like whenever you're cutting flank steak up to make fajitas, just pieces of muscle
Oh.
falling down on the ground as he's screaming at you guys.
Olga is okay. First cut is deepest.
Only because I'm a huge Cheryl
Can I
Crow
have
fan.
more? Can I have more than one of these at a time?
No.
Okay.
Give me a shit.
I guess I should use my own before making the joke.
Mm.
Alright, any other movement?
Only so many Cheryl
Negative.
jokes you can get out.
Yeah. I mean, it was appropriate. It was timely.
Alright, then we go to Glaz. Let's do your spiritual weapon first so we don't forget it.
Nice. She's over there knocking up.
5,
Smashy, smashy. That thing's
15,
amazing.
20.
Grape him.
Very nice.
17. No.
Oh, SpaghettiOs.
Sorry.
Like many errant scoutmasters preying on small bodies while they sleep.
15.
The spiritual weapon creeps forth and it brings its full load down onto the sleeping form of the goblin.
Wow.
Can't see
How much
Wow.
damage?
Yeah.
15
Oh,
to hit,
man.
and then 14
How come
damage.
you didn't timestamp that?
I will.
It's dead.
109.
It's dead.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, that was for you down there, sunshine.
Was it? Is that what it was for?
So 109 that comes off. And then I'm going to move
Come close
5,
to me.
10.
Okay. I need you guys to, since you're still tied together, I need you to do an athletics check first.
15.
It's a 9.
So you're prone again. And
You gotta spend your action to get that off you, right?
Fatty Arbuckle and the Keystone Cops over here.
Great.
What is that?
Keystone Cops?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's an old like 1930s like, you know, slapstick humor,
Okay.
like show with these.
They're all falling all over the place.
Yeah, they're just like a bunch of bumbling cops.
I got you.
Fatty Arbuckle was one of the actors on the show.
I extend my warhammer towards the ogre and say, and cast Sacred Flame at it.
Yeah, you called him an asshole. All right.
DC 14.
Alright.
Okay. So he fails.
12 damage this time.
Ooh, and he
Yeah.
incinerates.
Yeah.
Who did
Ogre
the
dust.
Oh wait, the ogre.
Yeah, the ogre.
There you go.
And just like that, he's engulfed in flames and falls flat.
And I yell up over my shoulder towards Valkyr. Valkyr, that's 4 goblins, and we'll count him as 4, so that's 8 for me. Where are you at, you slacker?
Give your balls a tug, you tit fucker.
All right. So then Zendala is going to look over at Glaz and say, well, Sugar, I think the honor is yours, should you choose to tee off.
Yeah.
As golf is highly popular outside of Waterdeep.
Oh.
How long does soup last for?
A minute.
Okay. So then as it gets back around to me, I'm going to take my 2 rounds, take it over here, and have my spiritual weapon hovering over him the whole time, and then simultaneously I'm going to command my spiritual weapon to swing down.
And she's looking up at Valkyr the entire time and says, it seems that you are deficient in yet another kill.
First one's a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that
and
hits.
My hit is a nat 20.
Oh,
wow.
hey.
This is like
It
triple,
is time for you to finally start drinking.
triple stuffed SpaghettiOs over here.
Bronson's going around killing various rats and lizards to catch up.
That's one.
It's more than
First
enough
one of the
damage.
night.
Wild Tiger.
Going
Yeah.
back and tracking down Hogger and
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Finishing
That's
him
not
off.
enough
farming
activation.
hogger. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna get you, Hogger.
I'm gonna get to level 60 killing hogger.
Oh, yeah. Strong pull.
I like this stuff.
Me too.
Well, you guys are
In for a treat.
different. Hey, buddy.
Hey, dude.
All right. So with that, we are out of initiative.
Get this rope off of me!
Genji's rage subsides. However, the pain that's around your midsection, Jotun specifically, and Hugh and Glaz, you have a pretty prominent rope burn in your garments from getting tugged around. Hey, buddy. You hurt your foot? Here.
Yes.
There you go. All better. What are you doing? You having fun? Yeah. Did you see Uncle Dave? He's a booger.
Go take his vest.
Take this.
I want to search the bodies of the goblins along the wall here.
God, we haven't done like searching carcasses in like 8 sessions.
Yeah,
Please make an investigation.
because we've been killing just
Sure we
zombies.
have.
They have been.
Been searching
It's
zombies.
been things without pocketses. Hey Dan, can you grab those Oreos and,
10.
and eat one?
A 10?
10.
So as you're going through, you're finding more baubles of different ages, and not like how old they are, but from different time periods that look like they've assigned random value. You find no gold,
Okay.
just little trinkets
Shiny rocks.
and the like. You know, a very polished rock here, a piece of petrified wood. You find just these weird, unique items rather than actual valuables as you go across. The bowstrings on this are made from some kind of animal fur and don't seem like they have that much durability, and you can see where the bowstrings have snapped repeatedly and they just continue to tie on a new one up on top. So it's like these 2 balls at either end that kind of dangle down. You're not sure why that wasn't cleaned up.
Dirty jangles, boys.
Yeah. the little gnarled pieces coming off of the balls. Yeah.
What?
Hey.
Get out of here.
And that's what you see across those 4. The arrows that they have for these short bows, not really anything you see too valuable. You do, however, find beauty, which is odd, as you look at each one of the arrows, how it's a very sharp and evil-looking arrow tip, but beautifully colored feather fletching from some of the birds of prey that are prevalent throughout the jungle.
I'm gonna take one of the natural looking feathers that I can find. And as I make my way back to the group, tuck it behind Doctor's ear.
You have
So I mean, he's looking
feathers.
he's looking slamming.
Hi, the arrows on the goblins over there. These really nice feathers on them.
I'm gonna go around and collect all the feathers. How many do you think that is?
Roll 2d12.
Did somebody search the ogre's body?
I will.
Give me an investigation check, please.
Uh-oh. Can I help?
Yeah. Roll another one.
Yeah, roll another one. See what's better.
9. 13.
It's 15.
15. So as you're patting down the ogre, you can see that he is collected and has probably gone through a few smaller camps of explorers that have gone through the jungle, and you're seeing pots and pans that he's kind of covered himself with that are severely rusted up and over. You do, however, find a ring that is within his belongings in a small pouch. He's converted a very large overcoat. You assume it's an overcoat, into breeches and sewn into a pocket. You find a ring.
Ooh.
Don't look at what the name on there is, because that's not actually what it is.
It's just a ring.
That's just a placeholder for us to remember that you
I
have.
have to like identify it for.
Okay. What happened here?
Every time I bring the
Oh, it kills
The stream bandwidth gets.
I haven't tied them together yet, but it's been enough times that I'm leaving it off.
Yeah, go for it. So it's a requested feature.
Yeah, we'll get the
Would
extended.
you like it?
Yeah, last session, like, I had never seen Camp Vengeance until we watched the stream afterwards.
Got it.
And I was like, God damn it, I didn't know the layout of the fucking place at all because we didn't have a visibility on the site.
Yeah. All right. Any actions you guys want to take in the short minute or two since Valkyr first went up to the top of the tree and looked out? Nothing's really changed. Water's still flowing. You're still hearing the rain. You're feeling it bounce off of your clothes. You're wet. Your adrenaline's starting to creep away. So a few of you are getting that telltale yawn after combat.
Shouldn't we rest for an hour or two?
What would you like to do?
I'm alright to keep moving if you guys need to.
What time of day is it?
Sundown, right?
No. So if you're an hour and a half anticipated walk out, it's probably 1:32 p.m. in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
1 hour.
Take lunch.
All right. No,
Short rest.
Okay.
That's fair.
Short rest.
I'll keep watch for them.
Anybody gonna use hit die or anything?
I'm gonna use 1.
One roughly.
Please roll those.
I might as well use one as well.
And as you guys are kind of sitting around, D12 plus 2. Anything you guys want to discuss, or any relevant intermingling between party members want to take place?
No, hate that.
Hey, your
Do you
bardic
really
inspiration
No,
goes
not
away.
at all.
Yeah, your bardic inspiration is expired.
It goes away after 10 minutes.
Thanks, buddy. Didn't need it.
What's a pretty impressive bit of combat we had there. Everyone did
You guys did
good job.
very well.
Impressed.
It was a fun thing to try to bait you into doing something like what you did and then tying yourselves together. That was a fun mechanic. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think
Thank you.
It was
It's
neat.
just strange.
No, it's just neat. It's a different type of encounter.
maybe we find another way to navigate the slippery hills.
So,
Okay.
I guess I asked Glaz, like, can you tell which direction these lads set the ambush from and see if we can anticipate coming across another up ahead?
Hi, I'll scout around the area and see if I can see any traps.
Survival.
So what, you're scouting?
I'm going to just kind of look around the perimeter of where this
See where
ambush
they
is,
came from.
see where their tracks came from.
Okay, yeah, survival check.
I will do
Hugh-
skilled assistance.
Hugh and Genji, can you watch my back while we do this?
Sure.
Die.
Yeah, 24.
Yeah, so as you look around with the rain, you can't really see footprints or anything like that. It's all been kind of washed smooth just because of the volumes of water that's flowing downhill. What you do know is the direction that they were most prepared from and seemed to be the basis was this wall line here. So you anticipate to the northwest there maybe the direction.
There might be
That
more
they
in the
came
direction
from.
we're heading.
Yeah, if we head
Great.
towards the
Great.
ship, I think we're going to run into more of them, so let's just keep our eyes open and our weapons handy.
Righto.
I think what Genji is going to say, we should pull over here.
Okay.
Be more careful and quiet as we move forward.
Milton, do you want to put the bird thing up?
Familiar?
The bird thing.
No, you're
No, the bird thing.
If I can't play my lute, you must fly the bird.
What?
It's clearly a logical statement. Clearly. It's perfect.
His glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Yeah, I think it just takes a first level spell to recast it.
Find your familiar.
Well, I found them already, right? So it just takes an action to read through the spell to make
Bring
sure.
him forward.
Is it getting cast as version?
It can.
10 minutes.
Once you've cast him, you can pop him in and out of the plane at your existence at your will.
But does it take a spell slot?
For familiar?
Yeah.
No, he should still be like the way it's supposed to work is until you just scalp him or until he gets killed, he stays near you or does what you do. So
Okay. But I dismissed him last session.
then you gotta recast.
Yeah,
So
you gotta-
I have to recast it, but that's.
But you can do that as a ritual. Then it costs
Okay. It takes me 10 minutes, but I can do
Yeah,
that.
that's fine.
Okay. So you take the next 10 minutes.
I mean, it's going to be at least 10 minutes for him to do all the scouting of the footprints and everything anyway.
Heard.
So
That's true.
It's 2019.
We'll make it take
I'm not assuming anything.
Fair.
I think I'm just gonna start bringing one of my wife's bras to the session with me, and I'll wear that so that you guys can.
Many layers.
Stuff
to
it
this.
full of socks and toilet paper.
All right, so you go through this and almost like a void walker getting pulled in. It's being brought back into being, and you find it odd the voice, and you can't really place where the voice is because it's so distorted. But it comes forth and what? And looks at you.
Oh, hi.
Wait, what?
I'd
Yeah,
like
that's what it
to
said.
try and command it to go forward and scout out for us.
And silently it starts moving off. What's the range that it can go?
3 miles.
Everywhere the sun touches is
Except
your
for the elephant
If
bridge.
within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically.
Okay.
I guess I can go further than that, but then I'll lose contact with it, so try to keep it within 100 feet.
Okay. So you see this form just kind of float off. Human form, bigger than what it was the last time. It seemed like a tiny little miniature one before it's grown since last you've seen it, and it's starting to take on more human-ish,
I
humanoid
thought it was a dragon.
looking.
There's a little bird thing. There's a little human-y flying thing.
It looked more like a
A little homunculus.
like if a crystal had sex with a hummingbird. Is kind of what
Again?
it looked like. Oh yeah.
I thought that was a one-time thing.
Yeah, no, we paid double. So yeah, it goes off and do a perception check for it.
Ouch.
11.
Oh.
Okay, so it's off looking.
What else would you guys like to do?
I guess let's head into
Let's,
the
let's
yeah,
go
yeah.
find the wreckage.
northwest.
All right, so you guys leave this area.
I'm gonna untie the rope for myself.
We're all in. I mean, I think we figure we're all
I didn't
in
do it for me yet.
Oh.
So I didn't say that I did, knowing.
Give Yotan back his rope.
The last thing I want to do is be surprised 2 hours from now and I still got a freaking rope around me.
Okay.
But then back in the marching order.
So your spiritual weapon disappears. And Genji Ropeburn leads the way as you guys.
Oh, that's good.
That's a great nickname. Hey, Oropaburnu!
And so you guys start heading downhill. I need everybody to make a first. Not everybody. You make your survival check.
Assist.
Help from Indian Hugh. 22.
Okay. Then everybody Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Confused.
Oh, give me that gut rot.
Nice.
26.
21.
21.
6.
Blackjack.
Read 'em or weep. Oh, I like this in blackjack.
Read 'em or weep.
Read 'em up.
Let's read 'em in.
Oh jeez. Oh gee wilkers, Mr. Wizard.
So at this point,
Why are you touching me there? Sorry.
at this point, you
Why
should,
you?
you should be 200% activated.
Well, he hasn't had a full wild tiger.
Activation.
Not
That's
full
true.
activation.
Not fully activated until you have a whole can of wild tiger.
All right.
I'm getting there.
So as you guys are going downhill, you get to a few openings in the tree line. So you're coming down the northwest face of this rise, and you can see long-necked lizards. Their necks coming up over some of the tree canopy out along the way, and they're very slowly moving. And then you see them craning their necks around and biting into some of the foliage. You see through the breaks of trees as you're coming downhill, you're still seeing a very small wisp of smoke, and it's getting closer.
Would you say that those lizards look like that?
No, they're more of a brown tone. Nice try, though.
Thank you.
All right, so you guys are continuing down.
Continue towards the wreckage, or where we think the wreckage is.
Okay. Perception checks for everybody, please.
Almost 17. Lower for Dave.
At least a 20.
19.
21, I think.
13 for
23.
Dave.
23.
So you can hear up ahead a little bit of argument over. You can't tell what. You can tell it's an argument between a very low guttural voice that's using small words slowly, and another one that has a lot of authority in its voice, but it's too muffled through the rain and the distance that you are at up ahead for you to make out the words.
Who's the stealthiest and or is there a familiar?
Pretty strong, yeah.
For like the next.
Holy fucking shit. It's a dinosaur.
Oh my god. We need to clear off this terrain, right? We've already moved on.
Yeah,
from this.
you've moved beyond this.
just clear it to the side.
We can use my familiar, but he's not very stealthy, so if someone wants to sneak up on him, I might be the one to go first.
This is stupid brilliant. So good.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot better if he would have brought the newest things he was preparing.
Can I see those the 2-part tree there? Can I hand that to us?
Oh, this.
Yeah, not the stands. The trees. Oh, that's interesting. Like,
Brilliant.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to continue moving into it
especially when you put the platform.
The
on,
argument.
you can't go.
So amazing.
as quiet as we can. Are we sending
Yeah,
your
you
familiar?
guys aren't on the thing yet.
Bronson is not stealthy, so he'll stay back so as to not cause.
Yeah, I'm
earshot
not stealthy either. So
jingling. Yeah.
I'm not gonna go clanging and stomping my way.
Exactly. Damn, she is hot.
Is Velker our stealthiest
If
character?
only,
He's a rogue.
yeah, if only we had an actual rogue, not just a.
I can
Roguish.
kill one of you guys off if you want.
I like Bronson a lot.
I would
too.
assume I would have assumed that our bard would have multiclassed into rogue instead of sorcerer, but
Yeah. Speculative.
But
I like the evolution. It works well on paper.
hey, we need you to be
Here.
stealthy.
Can I get the all the stonework, please?
Oh, is this where I got volunteered to be the
Scout?
the rogue?
yeah,
You know, he's kind of multiclassed into it.
I literally just said that. I think he was listening at the door crying.
Slow stroking it.
No, just crying.
Falcon, we hear voices. There's a good one and something else that's more commanding.
Is this right?
No. I mean, I'll
To-
position it for you.
To the northwest, pretty close. So we can either send in old boys familiar.
Oh my gosh, hi.
Yeah. Very close to.
Yeah.
You got a kid coming to grab you.
Wow! Whoa, that's very personal.
Hi, buddy.
What are those little things?
Those are what we see with.
This is not a copyrighted song. It's
a
generic, similar rip-off
Yeah.
song, not about
Was the ring the only thing we found in the last
Yeah.
encounter?
Yeah, and some feathers. So are we sending in your familiar?
We can. Like I said, it's not very stealthy though.
Does it
So
make sure it makes that
move yourselves along that vector, and I'm going to go pick
It's
it.
loud, basically. And that's
Okay.
look
Are there any trees in this area?
I've got to go get the dragon
at it.
that bastard. I'm gonna take a look.
Subtle hint. No, I don't think he's actually.
I think he is actually.
I think we might be fighting stealthy.
Buckle in. I'm gonna spend the whole time with this thing right now. Ah, like a World War II general. Ah.
Jump on that cigar.
I always have a cigar in my mouth, even when I jump out of a plane. Ah.
We shall return.
Cliche from every video game
And every fucking shitty movie.
ever. Those things will give you lip cancer, Sarge.
So they're always like general. Dude.
Bay 12. Check those corners. Watch your spacing.
Check those corners.
Look into my eye. So we're waiting. Did we decide what we're gonna? Are we sending in your familiar?
We can.
Okay.
Like I said, if we want to be stealthy, we're gonna try and sneak in first.
No, 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 no.
Well, it's been what, a day and a half or so since the airship got attacked.
Yeah.
It's been that long?
Almost 2 days.
Yeah. I'm gonna find some wreckage. We should find some.
So
Yeah.
I would be surprised if the dragon is still here. But maybe not.
Yeah. So we saw it crash on the 14th of Alent on Charday. We left
It's
camp.
been like 2 days.
We left Camp Vengeance on the 15th, and now it's the 16th, and we're moving in towards the site. So we're gonna send in the
What's he hiding from us?
familiar.
Extremely suspicious.
Watch your fingers.
Like the little grimace on her face.
She does not like that. Please have a seat.
You're bullshit. I cast Mage Armor? How have you had time to work on whatever it is you're about to unveil when you've done all this other stuff? We should be worried.
That is a good question. Alright, so
You've been remaining totally activated this whole time.
I am always totally mostly through anal bleaching. You didn't expect that, did you, David?
On the contrary, knew it.
Fair. Alright, so again, for those of you who weren't in the room, you had heard arguing between a very simple-minded voice, one that is very low but using very small words, and then a more authoritative voice. What are you guys going to do? Move yourselves closest to me.
We're
And
in
this
this
is the
corner?
ground that you see. Where the black is,
Yep.
it seems like it drops off. So
Okay.
you're not sure what's over
So
there.
we're on a high part. Oh, the black over
You
there.
know, you're
okay.
coming downhill, aren't you not?
Yeah.
So which direction
no
is
trees.
Northwest then.
Yeah, not in this section. You're seeing trees directly in front of you.
Bronson's gonna whisper to the group.
Lads, I've got a bad feeling about this. I think we should go the other way, back the way we came, and walk directly in the opposite direction for 6 days or so.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We're definitely hearing voices, so we should. Is this flash train? Is there any cover here whatsoever?
No, it's like you're
Downhill, right?
coming downhill.
Okay, so anything down below us is gonna be able to see us.
Maybe.
Okay. Let's just move in as quiet as we
Yeah.
can.
Right.
Well, you don't have to.
Don't move.
Yeah, you
not move.
Okay,
You
I'll
can
stay
stay
where
at
I
the
am.
top of the hill.
Oh yeah, definitely not moving forward
Yeah.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm moving forward. I got an 18, so.
I had a non-nat 20, so
Ooh.
my first good roll
Oh,
of the
I'm
night.
staying-
The road?
I think it's a great idea to have the cleric and the wizard moving.
So
What do they see?
Bravest, so.
You just see a drop off
Yelton,
up ahead of you.
send your familiar to the drop.
Why do you have tickets?
That's to the Stars game from the other night. I'm
Who's
wearing the
this
same
guy?
pants.
Slinging tickets, man. This guy.
I'll
Selling
take two.
wolf tickets
I'll
over
take two.
here.
Yeah.
You guys want to go? We're going on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm stoked. It's good. Where's your familiar? We'll just use this for it.
You hear a. Here, use this.
Where are you moving him?
Just fly him over where we heard the voices, I guess.
So here.
Oh! Oh! Alright, let me reveal that. So
There's a rune.
A ruin.
So
And right.
Roll for intelligence to see if you remember.
Yelton, what do you see? What is it?
Oh my Goliath eye sees.
How much are they worth?
Nothing now, but they were $17 a piece at the time.
No shit.
Yeah, it's $15 to see a game.
Yeah, with the family 4-pack, the Coke Zero 4-pack, it comes with a hot dog and a soda.
Go.
Yeah.
It's not
Way
bad.
to go.
So ticket, hot dog, and a soda.
For $17.
That's
What
pretty
the
good,
hell? They
actually.
didn't give us that deal when I was buying stuff.
Did you go to the website and do it?
No, I called a broker.
Don't call brokers.
Other way around. The internet was way more expensive. Broker was much cheaper.
I went through Ticketmaster and they have a family 4-pack Coke special.
The broker is always the pro tip because they can eliminate all fees on.
Yeah, so I called the broker. The broker was like, okay, for these 4 tickets, it's going to be $30-something. For the other 8 tickets, because we want to be closer together, it'd be $600. And I was like, okay, thank
That's
you.
why.
Have a nice day.
Because we were getting 40 of us. That's why it was so expensive. So $15 a ticket, flat rate, no Cokes and hot dogs.
Did you get everybody together?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we were ordering, so yeah, trash at this point.
But yeah, that's what I really want. Is less than 20 bucks.
Tickets always coming
Hot
out.
dog and a Coke for everyone, and we're all sit together. That's just not possible. It seems like wreckage.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Respect. Man, I have so much of that shit laying around at home I should have brought. God damn it.
That's an active campfire. Oh, I can't see it.
Hey, it's fucking
The guy from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
no,
No.
Toka?
Bebop.
No.
the guy that you Haggis became friends with.
Oh no, you're right.
The gnomish.
It's
Mordecai?
yes. Yeah, that guy was great. How did he sound? What was his deal?
No, he was just like hopped up on coke all the
Oh,
time.
yeah, yeah.
Talk to me fast the whole time. And I'm so excited to have you here.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, we get some jerky. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So as your unseen servant comes over, you see that this depression and the lack of trees isn't from a mudslide, but where portions of the ship ripped out and have removed the tree cover and a major impact down below. You can see that part of it is still ablaze with a little bit of smoke coming up.
Even a day later and with rain.
Yeah.
So something explosive was in this, or very flammable.
Or dragon.
Let
Yeah.
us know, right?
And so, as you guys are looking down, you see 3 figures that are down there. This huge, hulking half-orc brute. You see a turtle that's down there.
I like turtles.
Toils.
How do you know Halloween though?
And then you see a small gnome that's down there that's hastily stirring a pot over the fire right now. And the large half-orc and the turtle seem to be arguing back and forth.
I don't know. They don't seem like they're a threat. Should we just get them move forward?
It might at least be worth seeing what side they're on. I mean,
Those of us
from
who-
the airship, right?
So
Those of us who didn't move forward, they're too alone, right? We're
yeah.
out of
So
earshot
we'll
from their whispers.
just
Okay.
I'll hold my hand up for a second towards you guys, and then I guess we're gonna crawl forward. Whisper.
My ladies, I'm Bella. What do your elf eyes see?
You get a demotivation.
But I will ask her, like,
What do you think? I know we're trying to find out if your father is down there. Can you see anything ahead? What do you recommend we do?
And she gives a very inaudible whistle. You can tell that air has escaped her in the way that she's like,
yeah.
but you're not really hearing the whistle. She's making her mouth
She's
in
doing
a
special
whistle
elvish
form.
whistles.
And,
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
and she sends Summerwise, her pseudo dragon, up in the air.
Okay.
And it very silently flaps and starts scurrying about. And let me roll for it.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
And they roll.
Oh no.
It's gonna be really good or really bad.
Yeah, right. And so it comes back and sits on her shoulder and like in her ear, and she says, "Well, it appears that Summerwise has looked down there, and the wreckage that we have fought our way here to go and view is currently within view down forth. There are 3 individuals around the fire, 2 of which seem to be in a dreadful argument between the 2 of them. and you guys are hearing the voices continue.
Yeah. So, what do we hear? What are they saying?
So, Knocker, who you hear the half orc call the Tortle Captain. You hear the Tortle call the half orc Knocker, and they're going back and forth about the proper exit procedures. And Knocker is saying, every time we leave, we have to mark that we will go, and then we go. You made us just go. We didn't mark we go. You just made us go. And the captain's like, oh, by God, Knocker, I tell you what, this is a dreadful circumstance we are in. There was a dragon outside. Did you not see the dragon? Oh, I saw the dragon. I hit the dragon twice. 2 times I hit it with my clubs. I hit it, and it tore our home apart. And so they're going back and forth, and it seems like they're friendly, but the captain is having difficulty maintaining patience with having to explain it just because of the circumstances, because of the rain and the like. The halfling, or the gnome that's over there, doesn't seem to be making any noise. It's just scurriedly moving about, stirring and adding different things into the pot.
So I think these are friendly.
Just call the group down and go say hi. All right. And so I'm gonna motion back to the group
So I'll move up stealthily to them.
as they start moving forward. What is this? What's this? The
It's
climb
a
up?
pretty sharp indentation.
So you guys are
There's
15
one
feet
Probably
below us.
15 feet, just straight drop with a little bit of a scoop at the bottom.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna put my warhammer on my belt, tuck it into my belt, and put my shield on my back, and then say, "Hey, watch this."
Dexterity saving throw.
As they all start to approach, I'm gonna billow my cloak and jump off the depression and sort of use my elbow and my right hip to slide down the mud
19.
Oh, nice.
while my cloak is billowing out behind me,
19.
Okay.
and saying as I'm sliding down, "Hello there, lads. How are you doing?"
And so they are all of a sudden taken aback, and you see Knocker grab his 2 clubs, and he's like, "I bring it! I bring it! Both of them, I bring it!" And Caracas, the captain, raises a hand and says, "Now there is no need here to be hostile. No need at all to be so hostile to such a delicate-looking flower. Please find yourself forward and get comforted by our fires here." And then while you guys are focused down there, Genji, Bronson, you would be the only one looking at this because you're making sure that Zendala is
Yeah,
walking nicely.
I'm with her.
The hips are swaying. All of a sudden, you see Genji do a forward roll, and dropping in behind him out of a tree that's right here,
Whoa.
a black-robed individual in black cloth with a jade green cinch belt comes slashing out, and his blade hits down in as he's almost in a 3-point stance, and silently the head looks up at Genji,
Ooh, yeah.
stands up
Yes!
in any position, and stares at you.
Give me that dirty looking face again.
Do I recognize him?
He is fully masked. You can roll a perception
Oh,
check.
he. The ninja does not have breasts.
Well, there were no female ninja in
Not a
actual
ninja,
history.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we
Whoa, bro. This is 2019.
we prefer anime history where they were hot ninja babes.
Yeah, we for sure.
Let's relax.
Way too much clothes on this to be a female.
Pump the brakes there, Chief. They're all porn
At
stars.
least a ninja. Yeah,
Go to my.
Take about 20% off there.
Plus, as one knows, all female ninjas run like this.
No, they run like this.
Yay, with their arms back. I was with their legs.
So
like,
I think there were such thing as female ninjas, but whatever. Kunoichi.
Okay, bless you.
sounds like a great restaurant.
Your perception check, please.
Can we get some goddamn ninja battle music? God
6.
Yeah.
So it is difficult as you just come up from a roll. You don't know what tripped your senses, but you just felt a presence
My uncanny.
leap from over some of the rock pilings and rubble over here, and it swoops down, and he looks up and says, "Oh, Genji, you are worse than Rabbit Dog."
I'm gonna take
Han
a,
Solo, it has been many years. Why have you returned to face your judgment?
You shall die underfoot. And he throws a shuriken at you.
Bronson's gonna take a swing at him. For sure.
Not until you're in initiative. Right?
And misses. You're able to draw your blade and through the movement of the draw, knock the shuriken out. And then you very slowly come to a ready position.
Oh! Solo and clumsy as always, Han Solo. I see. Nothing has changed.
That's great. That's amazing.
Prepare to meet justice, Han Solo. And then,
And-
I'm challenging him to one-on-one combat.
Okay.
But not like I did before with the Arakoa, where it was like a noble to a peasant, like dog, but not noble to noble, but in between.
Okay.
Bronson would have taken a swing at him though.
Alright, take a swing.
Medium to medium.
Burano-san, do not attack.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, if he says it in time before Bronson swings, because like when he lands swings and you say like blah 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 insulting, and he throws a shuriken and you knock it away, like he's gonna take a swing at him. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I understand.
That's like a lot of back and forth where you just.
I mean,
my friend.
you can go. It's not going to really change anything. I'm still challenging him to one-on-one combat. I would probably try to interpose myself between you.
So
and
yeah,
him.
while you guys are having the back and forth, and he throws that, and you knock it away, and you both take your cool stances, Bronson's just gonna sideswipe the side of his head.
I got to get the sword for this.
Blade's out for Harambe.
And the mask is going on.
A 26 and an 18 to hit.
So on the 18, you see him fidget with a ring.
What?
And the other one does hit.
Cool. We're swinging at it. Oh wait, only one hit, correct? Okay. Let's go ahead and try and do better. Nope. So it's gonna remain there. So 7, 22.
22 points of damage. Roger.
Oh wait, no, I lied to you. That's 12. I tried to cheat.
Thank
My
you.
bad.
You failed.
I was so used to hitting with both. I was just adding way too much. Tim's getting real weird over here.
Or is he just getting right?
It's gonna be hard to throw a die with a sword.
I was looking forward to watching you manipulate that, Mike.
Put some goggles on to keep my eyes.
Dance guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I don't know if the.
You might lose your nose though.
Have you seen that video?
Oh, it's so bad. Those people deserve everything.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. What?
Oh, dude,
Somebody puts a carrot in his mouth or something,
Yeah.
his friend hits it with a sword and just takes his nose off.
Oh,
Because they're drunk idiots in the living room.
No fucking way.
Playing with a katana.
We will do that at chow break then. We'll see this
So
done.
it's one of those. Well, actually, I'm
No,
not
it's,
even
I think
insult that.
this is not sharp at all.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like it's a house like it's a mall ninja katana. It's
Yeah.
so stupid.
This was earned in battle.
That's what I was getting at. Is that might be better, honestly.
It's still, I don't think it's
still
sharp enough.
Yeah. It's pathetic. The guy's
Alright.
nose is.
You see it like fold off.
It folds off his face.
Yeah. It doesn't get completely removed.
It's dangling.
Yeah.
Dirty dangles, bro.
He went, I think
Dirty
he went to the
dangles,
hospital
bro.
after that. I think.
Please roll initiative.
Woo woo woo! Just those two, right?
Whoever chooses to participate.
There's an initiative roll. Come on.
20 through 30. $15 through 20.
16.
15.
Oh, you're gonna be.
No, it's just in case.
10 through 15.
12.
And 1 through 10.
7.
Dave's not playing D&D anymore.
Didn't think we were supposed to get into this. He said.
Somebody just dove out of the bushes and tried to kill your friend.
But I did challenge him to one-on-one.
Yeah. I'm respecting that.
Okay.
You should respect it too.
What country are you from? I'm not familiar with these. No, Bronson.
He's from Fate. Let's stay in character.
Fair.
All right. So at this point, you guys are hearing the ones that are up front. So like Jotun, Vlaz, and the like. You guys hear a commotion from behind. Vlaz has already very delicately slid down and is in position with what you guys assume to be the contact up front. Those of you who haven't flipped around, Hugh turns over to Volker and says, 3-1 on Genji.
3-1 on Genji.
You're having to think about this way too hard.
I'll take it.
3-1 on Genji in 4 moves.
Somebody's got confidence in my ability. Way more
And he
confidence.
tosses.
So if
He tosses 5 gold. No, we'll say 15 gold.
Okay, but if he doesn't get him in 5, then I win. Yeah. Okay.
So you throw 15 gold at his feet. Okay, so there's now 30 gold that's sitting down in between these two chuckleheads.
Anything colored gold.
I used to have those Lego coins.
Lego
with
gold
the
from
red
the
gold.
chest, the pirate chest.
But I was actually thinking we need stuff to represent a dragon horde. Like big piles of gold.
I have a mini for that. I just haven't painted
What
it
is
yet.
this for?
Those are bonus markers, so you.
Wait, you can't put magnets on a TV though.
Yeah.
Right. That's why they.
That's why we don't use it yet. Oh, there you go. Okay, nice. That looks pretty good.
But yeah, the but
And just for pointlessness,
I got 40 because 40 there's like 9 million stats.
She's flying above.
not so much because she wants to, but because she can.
That's amazing.
All right, and so these two square off,
Staring each other down.
and he says, "Now it's in, Wayne," and he's like, "Shut up, fuck." One of the greatest scenes from Batman the Animated Series with Kyodakin versus Bruce Wayne. God, those were great. All right, so Branu-san.
So I take a swing at him and hit this guy in the side of the head. Then, as he's making the challenge to one-on-one combat, and so Bronson like recoils from having hit him, and then realizes he's trying to have a standoff. He goes, he's gonna not put his flails away, but he's gonna back up a few steps. He's gonna take the disengage.
Okay.
Back away, and go. As he's about to back away, he goes, "I want a good, clean fight. You're gonna touch gloves now. Obey my commands at all times. You guys ready? Let's get it on!" And then he backs off.
Nose lane.
In the blue corner.
I'm gonna bite his ear off.
Yeah.
So, and I went through and researched these. So he, because he got a 16 as well. He says, "Kusotare!" and moves to attack,
calls me an asshole.
which is it's shit drip is
Yeah.
what it means. And he
Somebody!
comes charging in and will make 2 attacks.
Okay. And you might have poison blades too.
So a 20 and a 17.
Hit.
Jeez.
So
Right.
2 blades immediately come in and let's roll damage for that.
This is a better one.
That is 15 damage. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, 10.
So You feel as, and I need a second one as well.
19.
Alright, so the first strike comes in and catches you relatively cleanly in between your splints on your armor and gets you on the lat, and you feel a heartbeat in where it's been cut, and you feel a coldness start to go through your body. As you're paying attention to that, and almost a moment soon enough, you curse yourself for even thinking about that as the second strike comes, and you're able to parry it enough away to where the impact damages you, but doesn't break the skin as the first one does. You are now poisoned, and you take 15 damage.
On top of the
Slashing.
15 that I already took,
Yes.
I take another 15 damage.
Oh, no. 15 damage from
Okay,
the two
got it,
hits.
got it.
And you have the poison status set on you.
Okay.
Apologies for
Do you
that.
have disadvantage on everything?
Hit on everything.
Right.
See those reflexes? I'm a father.
What's up?
You want to sit in Daddy's lap?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Sorry. So, move him in contact with the poison guy.
The ninja.
Yeah, Dave. Be at the table, present, please.
Dave, God damn it, Dave.
Seriously. No, you're absolutely right. Glaz.
Yeah, I'm just going to. Afternoon, lads. We saw the ship come down. We just thought we'd come over and see if we could render assistance. And that's about 6 seconds.
Yeah. Captain Caracas is, well met. It's very nice to meet you. And it's about whenever 6 seconds are up. And
worst
you
cutaway
start
I've
hearing
seen
it,
ever.
and Knocker goes, your friends may not be your friends.
This fight's probably over at this point.
And,
Because he's going to be really hard for me to hit.
Tim.
Yeah, so I'm going to cash that in for my first attack. So
Okay.
I'll roll a normal, and then I'll roll the second one. 12, it's going to miss. And, oh, nice, 23 to hit. on the second
That
attack.
thoroughly hits.
Yeah.
Oh!
Maxed it out. So that's 16 damage on that hit.
Did you roll boxcars?
I did.
Nice.
Oh, rage.
Zuby. Okay.
Should have done that first. Oh, that
So
would be-
you are now angry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they're just a maelstrom of blades going back and forth and attacking. They're kicking at each other. You're seeing an agility out of Genji you haven't seen before, but part of him, you see him favoring that left flank, right up here underneath the underarm. And you guys can see like a pus that's almost starting to drip from the wounds that are there. Genji, now Jotun.
So I think I'd like to fly the familiar up just to see if there's any other lurking ninja presence.
Okay. So make a perception check. Come up there and move up there where Zendala is.
Is a 17 perception.
Okay. So as you're looking around, you can see to the south.
Hey, buddy.
This is still accurate.
No. So you guys would be heading in a northwest direction this way. So south is to my rear.
Okay.
So you can see due south at an opening. There seems to be a jade-colored banner moving off.
Oh.
And to the north, you can see a very large stone pyramid, not Egyptian style, but Aztec in orientation. So the graduated steps coming up.
Does the banner mean like there's an army marching?
You see a jade banner through a clearing.
I guess.
And it's probably, based upon your rate of travel, probably 2 hours off
Okay.
to the south.
Okay. So I'll yell out to anyone that can hear me and say that there's a banner to the south. There might be more coming. That's probably about it.
No, you said moving off.
Yeah, moving off to the south.
So it's leaving.
Yes.
The Jade Banner's leaving the direction of us. So his
He's
party,
here to, we got too close. He's here to delay.
he left behind.
So there's a banner moving away.
Yeah.
We're
On
still
the
like,
same trail.
I think that's my turn.
So when you yell that out, Bronson goes,
My
"Oh,
words.
yep, one of them stayed though.
2 instruments, 1 hand.
Genji's fighting them, just so you know. Just gonna hang out here before you finish doing what they're doing here."
Alright, anything else you want to do on your turn?
No.
Alright, top of round 2, Bronson. Anything you care to do?
So Bronson stepped away from him and encouraged him to fight. He's gonna walk back up and get closer again. So like guys fighting in a parking lot, you back off at first, but then when you realize like they're not worried about
Give me a
it.
perception check.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Some gut rock.
Goblin.
27.
Oh,
wait, sorry, 25.
You look up, and
I'm gonna be up
the
Till tomorrow.
the height that Zindala is up at relative to where you're at, and the way that the wind is blowing,
Uh-huh.
you get an interesting perspective from where you're at. Do you choose to look or not?
Oh, I can see upper skirt. He make a stealth check.
Okay.
13. So he peeks, but then feels bad about it. And then peeks one more time.
Okay.
And then yeah, so he's gonna get back in the within range of these two guys,
Okay.
and he's gonna bark at him. I don't know if you speak English, lad, but I said I want to see a clean fight. He's moving a little slow. If I think something's fishy, I'm putting your brain in. And then he takes his
She's laughing.
he takes both of his flails back out, and as a reaction, he will attack the hostile ninja if Genji falls.
Okay. Are you positioned properly?
He moves back in.
Okay.
You want to move back in?
5 feet behind the ninja. Or next to him.
All right. So
On my
then
side next
he's gonna make his 2 attacks.
A little close, yeah.
Yeah, within 5 feet of
You
him.
could get sliced.
No.
Ouch.
Ouch.
So a nat 20 and an 18 plus 6. 24.
That doesn't. Oh, you see a 35.
Damn.
When you look at
Damn,
the big
Daniel.
No, I'm sorry. That's only 2 points.
My damage.
Back at it again with the green swords.
She brought him to me. I should have kept the gold D20. Damn, she's a little ninja. Out the door.
So 8 and 1 is 2. That is 19 damage. 2 con saving throws, please. DC is 12 on this, and if you don't make a 12, then that's a D4 poison damage.
Okay, so I take 1d4.
Dude.
You want to roll or do you want me to? 1 poison damage, please.
Nice.
Okay.
That was the right place.
Alright, so he makes a flurry of attacks and draws back up and is almost taunting you with how straight he can stand. Because of the burn that you get. He's continuing to attack at that left side. Glass.
Having heard, I guess, assuming I'm hearing more of the commotion behind me now, I'll say to the large guy, my friends are probably still friends, but I should probably. And I look back at the 15-foot climb. I guess get up there somehow.
And Captain Caracas looks over at Knocker and says, Knocker, you might want to help that beautiful flower up. And he goes and looks at you like, are you okay with this?
Ball that never be tossed again. Yeah, let's do it.
And lobs you up. Yeah.
Tell Asmar.
Tosses you up. Alright, Genji,
Alright, so at this point,
you're pissed.
well, I think I realized that if I just maintain the status quo here, that he's just eventually going to wear me down. So I'm going to begin recklessly attacking. Which means I attack at advantage,
Yes.
which cancels out the disadvantage.
Yes.
But then his attack against
At
me
advantage.
So rolling 2 attacks.
Ooh.
That one and a 24.
Give him the hot face 24.
Wasn't that just one roll? Oh, wait, no.
Yeah. So that's 9 damage on the hit.
Oh my.
Okay.
That was not the effect that I was hoping for.
That was not what I expected.
I mean, when I got poisoned, the fight was over pretty much.
This defeatist attitude will not stand.
I mean, it puts me at significant disadvantage. Not making that
Alright, let's go to Jotun.
Huh?
Push it. I think I might just hold my turn just to kind of wait and see what's going to happen with this fight. But
Okay.
I will move. And my familiar is still looking. Yeah, I think that's my turn. I'm not going to do anything else.
Okay. We now go to the top of turn 3 of 5 for the bet. Brahmasan.
Morono-san!
Yeah, I mean, Bronson just goes, lad, you're getting a little bit, a little reckless there. I got your back if you need me, but,
Barbarian.
you keep me in line. And he, like, barks at the other guy.
Barbarian puns are appreciated.
Yeah, and he's, same reaction. He's gonna spend his reaction to, make all attacks possible on this guy if he falls.
Okay.
And yell down at the lads, not looking so great, lads!
You hear Bronson
Giving words of encouragement.
giving words of encouragement by disparaging your outlook in this conflict.
Make him angrier.
Shit does really stir in you. Give me a D percentile. Anything 70 or above, and you get a D4 of pissed rage added to your rolls.
Sweet.
Best modifier ever.
72.
You get a pissed rage bonus. You ascend rage into pissed rage.
Pissed rage. Alright, Glaz, you have been lobbed up by this hulking, simple-minded individual who doesn't just yell his dialogue.
No, he has a well-constructed, like, form to his speech.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry for yelling earlier.
No, not you. That's from the last
No,
session.
I know.
So you're up on there, standing up. You look over and you see an individual with a curved sword similar to what Genji carries, but in all black with a green sash that's tied off. And they are in one of the most vicious looking fights you've ever seen. And you can tell by the pus dripping from the side, that's kind of a green frothy color, and the way that he's kind of favoring that side that Genji's been poisoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a long rest to remove poison if I'm not mistaken, unless you do a... Yeah, you can cure it.
You have to, what's that one thing I had? I cured it.
Revivify...
The
lesser
lesser life
restoration.
that I have in my.
You can also do lesser restoration or
Yeah.
Kyogen's ointment, which I have both of these things. In looking at how everyone else is sort of in a line, lined up here, does it appear as if they're spectating and not getting involved? Am I able to perceive that that's what's occurring? Okay, so I'm going to move forward 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'll do it here actually. And I'm going to ready Prayer of Healing on. No, I'm not. I'm going to dash. Yeah, that's my full action.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that's all I can do. That's it.
Alright, Genji.
Recklessly attack again. Did you skip?
Oh, no,
Did you
I
skip?
skipped his, sorry. Alright, so his first attack at advantage from the recklessness. Holy fuck. 2 and a 3. Second attack, natural 20.
Oh no.
You get such a disproportionately large amount of it.
Come and look at the
No, I
rolls.
believe you. It just happens a lot.
Alright, so 8 plus 3 plus 6, cut in half. So take 8 damage, slashing. And he yells out, Satai! As he cuts in through you. Roll another Constitution saving throw, DC 12.
It's a 17.
Alright, so you're able to fight through the poison as it's bubbling through. You're noticing tunnel vision now as it's pumping through. You feel your heartbeat in your temples, in your gums, in the webs of your fingers, all your real soft tissues. You're feeling your pulse as you know this poison is going through your body. The tunneling vision, though, gives you focus. What would you like to do?
I'm recklessly attacking again.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ow!
You got it covered.
Hey, nice reflexes there.
Dad.
Big shooter.
And then it's plus 1d4 to each of these rolls, right?
Yes.
So it's a natty 20.
Damn. You roll a disproportionate amount of those.
You do. And then a 14.
14 hits.
Nice.
Okay, so 12 plus 7 plus 6, 13, so 25 damage for the crit.
Nice.
And then 10 plus, I'm sorry, 9, 6, 15 damage for the non-crit.
And Hugh looks over at Valkyr, and we're on round 3,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and he's going, and you see, shoot, and the ninja is cut in half. And falls to the ground as entrails spill
like
out
this.
on the ground. And he starts scooping with his one hand the gold up. We are now out of initiative.
I run up.
So I ignore everything around me and I pull the mask off to see if it is indeed Hanzo.
Okay, go ahead and do an investigation check.
Sure.
While he's doing that, I still run behind him, and
17.
So you pull it off, and you see that this is a cousin. Whenever you guys would be, the daimyos would be doing festivals between. You know this to be one of his cousins that he has dispatched to come and kill you.
Oh, wow.
The
And
cousin of the daimyo or the cousin of Hanzo?
of Hanzo.
Okay.
And decently good with a blade whenever you guys would spar at these things. But you take sweet satisfaction in step 1 of your revenge of killing direct blood descendants
Okay.
of those that have harmed your family.
Got it. So I will plant my blade in the ground next to him. I will kneel like samurai style, and then I will begin like the calling out to the ancestors' death ritual that my clan does.
Very good.
So,
without getting in his way, I want to get up to where he has the cut and the pus and stuff was coming out, and place my hands on it and chant Afles cheek Naknoka, Afles cheek Naknoka, and cast lesser restoration on him and cure him of his poison.
Yeah, so the cheese thing that she says.
It's actually Scott's Daily.
Natsu cow.
I just don't have a good.
No, you're
Scott's
good.
Daily.
You're good. And so you feel your vision clears, your rage drops. You feel at one with your ancestors, and almost like there's a large rolling boom of thunder in your soul as the first bell toll for the doom of this rival clan has sounded within your mind and within your soul, and you complete it. Give me a religion check.
I slept through a lot of sermons. 9.
So you don't really derive any guidance. You just have the satisfaction of your bloodlust being quenched.
Got it. Okay. And then once the ritual is over, I will give him a burial not fit of like a fellow samurai that I slew, but I mean ninja are like the most dishonorable of all this.
They're what?
Dishonorable.
Yes.
So I will bury him, but I'm not. But it's not gonna be like special. Okay?
You gotta cut his head off and then bury him with his head in his crotch.
I'm not doing that. I don't.
Put their head in their lap and then bury him.
Abusing the
Well, he's in
corpses.
2 pieces, just fully wrapped.
That is true. You don't.
Abusing corpses is actually rule 1 of valor.
Yeah, but not as
It
a samurai.
disheartens.
You just click the left joystick repeatedly once you've killed him.
Yeah, exactly.
Stand up. And, yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Anyway,
whoa, whoa,
so I'm
whoa,
going to
whoa,
take care of all of that,
whoa.
and then I'll take care of myself.
All right, so that's a probably 30-minute ordeal of his death prayer for what he's doing. So while he's executing that, you feel somewhat lighter, not having to carry around this excess gold.
And once I'm done, I'm going to walk over to Valkyrie and I will say, "Always a bit of honor red."
Always bet on red.
Fair.
Because he wears red.
Which is why it's funny. And it's also because it's, like always been on black, but
But without the tax evasion.
Yeah.
Or in Venezuela.
Bro.
So, you guys look over and you see that Caracas is just summiting the hill there, and he's left the other 2 behind. You can kind of see him through the mist because he hasn't been fully painted yet. Sorry,
Yeah.
this took me over.
No, that's fine. I don't think anybody's going to complain about me.
Not disappointed.
Anyway, so he's looking out and said, "Well, by golly, there's quite a few of you that are traveling together. I hope you do not mean us any harm, for my lovely wife has been ripped asunder by a lizard breathing fire at us. The dragon, who knows a home in Flame Tongue Peak, has ripped us asunder. I think he may have been after one of the men I was contracted to deliver deep into the jungles. My beautiful bride, the multi-layered cod, a multifaceted and beautiful experience to be about, has been torn low by a disparaging assault by a dishonorable character.
Would you say that someone plotted a heist and blacked out your cod?
Yes, the kill has been confirmed. This death match that our team has entered into did not go well for half of the crew who was there near the poop deck. Have been scattered asunder. Only young Naka down there and Pocampo, beautiful gnome who creates delectable treats out of all things that are around him. We are the only ones who have seemed to survive the fall from the rear. Chauncey, my manservant, was thrown over and perhaps may have landed in the river near that encampment that's down there. Pray you tell, have you encountered this individual? He's a beautiful boy with a rosy disposition.
Lad, I think we might have seen him fall from the sky right around the time we was fighting a giant zombie vomiting dinosaur, and part of the wreckage of your beautiful bride, may she rest in peace, came down on the captain of said encampment, and many casualties were collected. So sorry to say.
Yeah, I think there's a chance Chauncey didn't make it.
There's a chance.
That's so bad.
Wow.
Alright.
Poor,
he didn't
miserable
have a
Chauncey.
So, do any of your crew require aid? Can we lend assistance in any form?
No aids need to be requirements down there for them. We were lucky that we were able to catch the slope and almost miraculously slid down in a bobsled style encounter where we rode the wreckage down, went over a few jumps, and then we landed. It was very miraculous.
Lads, did you by any chance get pitted?
So pitted, it was like, whoop-pow!
Great.
If I recall correctly.
I'm gonna look to Lady Zandala and see if she's gonna chime in.
She's kind of giving you a side eye and kind of adjusts her billowing dress before she comes and sinks down.
And red fills from bottom to top, and he looks anywhere but at her, like afterwards.
And she lands and says, I assume that Captain Caracas, as it were, that the dragon that you speak of is the fork-tongued devil known as Tinder. And Caracas goes, I don't know rightly what his name is, but son of a bitch killed my multi-layered cod.
Is Hugh just fuming at this point as well?
Yeah.
He's got steam coming out. of
Pedro
his-
Caracas, is your first name B.A.? B.A. Caracas.
Instead of being Baracus.
I don't follow
From the
it.
18.
From the 18. Mr.
We're
T's
gay
character.
Baracus?
Mr. T's good.
You're really old. The rest of these young children.
Your last reference was from the 30s.
He should
Yeah,
it was actually the
I got that
19 teens.
explained.
No, you're really old too.
Yeah, it's fair. I am.
Viejo.
Thank you.
I-
Guillermo actually is the
So I would like to ask, Radio Zendara, while you were up at the billowing heights, did you see a company of a Jada Syndicate that could not be far away with this most dishonorable ninja shinobi?
You know that.
I was just sitting there and making sure the immediate area was secure, that we did not receive any more unwanted attacks from the undead. From my high vantage point, I was scouring the immediate area and nothing at distance.
Hi, arigatou gozaimasu.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
That is the danger.
My familiar did happen to spot a bannered group, but heading in the opposite direction.
Please describe the banner to me.
So he talks about this jade cuttlefish that sits atop a kind of wooden cross, and hanging down from it is it's a kind of emerald green background made out of a heavier silk, so it's some kind of a blend.
Okay.
And it has gold, what do you call it? Fancy letter calligraphy.
In Japanese calligraphy?
Yeah,
Okay.
that is painted on it. So it's not something that the familiar at that distance, he could just see those details, couldn't tell you what it said.
Okay, but does that conform to what I know about the Jade Syndicate? Okay, so, okay. They are close. I must, at this point, pursue them. Because they have my sister.
So we'll go. Milady, do you need to conclude your investigation with these folk? Can you run and catch up with us? Should we let Genji pursue?
And she says, Captain Caracas, would Arta Simba be one of your passengers? And, well, yes, as a matter of fact, my lady, we were transporting him and a dragonkin that he contracted us to take him in. He's got 3 portions of a map that he is trying to find a fourth piece to be able to see where some angel, I believe, had fallen from above and made landfall here. There's a temple located deep within, but the map was supposed to help point the way.
So it seems
Where is he
like
now?
I would assume with the other half of my beautiful bride, may she rest in peace until I resurrect her again.
Is that further to the northeast? Is that where we're going? Probably don't know.
No, so it was the back half ripped off, and the rest, if you remember, was listing.
Yeah.
And the dragon was in the front, rooting, looking for something as it was slowly listing. So this would be off to the deep southwest,
Okay.
from where you guys are at. Captain Caracas says, as I was plotting where we would make our next search grid, that was whenever Tinder made his assault upon my vessel. I do not know if he was after the gems that power and allow us to levitate the ship, or if he was after Mr. Simba himself. But he very quickly ripped us asunder and continued on. Luckily, we were able to land here near Oralunga, right there behind us.
And Bronson's ears perk up and go, mind showing us where that is also on the map? But first we gotta...
Points at the pyramid.
Great, so I'm gonna mark it on the map.
Okay.
So we can see it. Mark off. Check off.
Is that the same
one
direction the Jade Syndicate was heading?
No.
We don't need to go there, we just needed it on the map.
Okay.
So we got it.
Got it. Okay.
So that just greened out on our quest log.
Oh, nice.
One
Check
of two,
mark.
one of two things on that quest is done.
Got it.
So
We're to the impasse again then, right? It's
no, we gotta go help him chase down the Jade Syndicate.
there's no within the other part of the ship, Zandala. We'll have to find the sender later. We must help our
Well,
friend.
where's this is one half of the ship.
Yeah.
The other
It's
half of the
the
ship
back
is
half,
southwest,
Victus,
far
right?
south.
Is
Far
yeah,
south.
far
South,
south to the southwest.
And which
Okay,
way do
and
we
we
see?
need to head southeast.
Away
Yeah.
again. Away
No,
from
they are due south of you. Yeah.
Oh, so
Oh,
it's
so
the
we
same
can-
general direction.
Sure. Let's make
Double
chess then.
time.
Let's go.
Yep.
And with that, we will take a break
Yeah.
Yep.
Chow break.
for chow.
Man, I was.